and I want to talk to you all about red mite. So red mite are a complete and utter nightmare for anybody that keeps chickens. They have a really short life cycle, so it's 2 to 3 days from when the eggs are laid to them hatching, and then 7 days for them to become an adult, and they can last for up to 8 months. So they can really escalate in numbers very, very rapidly. They only come out at night or in the dark, and they feed off all aspects of the chickens. So they suck their blood, they feed off their bodies, they feed off their wings, their feathers, all sorts of things. They are just the most revolting little things. They are tiny, tiny, dark grey. Actually, they're not even the size of a pinhead, they're the size of a pin, the pin tip. So they're tiny, but then they turn red once they've sucked the chicken's blood, which is just grim. So a few other facts about red mite. So your chickens might not want to go to bed, because that's obviously the time when the red mites come out at night. So they might be reluctant to go to bed. You might notice that their eggs laying has slowed down. You might also notice that their crown has gone a bit floppy. They might become anemic. Red mite can kill if it's not treated. So it's really, really a nasty thing, and it's just horrible, and the birds are unhappy. They probably won't be pecking around as much, they might be a bit lethargic. So I'm going to share with you what I did to get rid of them. So I've got a bucket of hot water here, and I've got some Jay's fluid. So I emptied all the bedding out and took everything out of my chicken coop. So whether you've got a wooden one or a plastic one, you can do the same. The problem with wooden ones is they can get under the roof felt, they can really get into sort of between the seams. They do this here on the plastic one, but because I can take it apart and dismantle it, I managed to scrub it out really, really thoroughly. I had to do it about 4 times. I thought I'd been really, really particular the first time, but no, these red mite hide everywhere. They were even under the chicken's water feeder on the bottom. I went to empty it, and I couldn't understand. I saw them crawling on me. It's actually making me itchy talking about it. So they are horrible. They get everywhere. So I scrubbed with Jay's fluid. This is brilliant stuff. Then I once I'd washed it all and let it dry, I then used this, which is Total Mite Kill, and I sprayed that over everything, both sides. And I also didn't leave it to dry on the ground. I put it in our yard where the ponies are, on the concrete to dry, because I think the red mites could be in the ground. So I also moved the chicken coop as well and relocated that. So this was really good, just to make sure that everything really was killed off. I then used this. I'm not even going to try and pronounce what it's got in it. Something earth. Anyway, it's a sort of powdery, like that. So this is really good once the chicken coop is dry, and I put this in their bed area and also on the roosting pot, bars, whatever they're called, in there. And you can put it direct onto the chicken. I will try to catch a chicken and show you how I did that. So that was brilliant. I also used this, which is Vit Boost, and I added this, actually I'm still adding it to their water, which is quite important because they've obviously had the red mite and they're run down. They're possibly, it depends how quickly you catch them, but they can become anemic. So it's really good to give them a boost of vitamins. And then I used this too. So I don't think it was any particular one thing, although this powder is amazing because it's like kind of gritty, so the mites don't like to crawl on it. So I put it under the straw and on top and through it and on the birds. So, maybe overkill, but I just wanted to get rid of the little devils for once and for all. So I then used a smoke bomb. So these are, let me open it and show you. These I think are good. I used 2 smoke bombs actually. So you pop them on a plate and you light it. You make sure that the coop's completely closed up and you smoke them out. So that was I think really good as well. You can get them in sort of what we call it scats. I think it's called Mole Valley now, and online as well. And I'll put the link to the website, which I learnt lots about red mite from. So that was very good. I'm going to try and catch a chicken and show you how I put the powder on. So I've got one of our hens. It's a little bit tricky. I actually got Coco to help me, but she's not here today. So you just puff it onto them. So it's quite a bit good here. So you want to get under the wings as much as you can, and on their bodies and on their backs, and then just rub it over them and try and get it in to all the places as much as you possibly can. Now I did this in the evening with our hens before I put them to bed, and in the evenings I also find that they're much easier to catch. So yeah, the evening is a good time just before they go in, and then you know that all the powder, off you go, bless you, well done. You know that the powder's on them, so when they go in to roost for the night, that the powder is there and it's doing its job, and it is protecting them from the red mites going and feeding on them. So I'm going to quickly show you how I clean them out. Ooh, I've got an egg. That in there, like that. And then, you know, because we have had red mite recently, I want to be really, really vigilant that it doesn't come back. So I'm going to give this all a really good scrub out with Jay's fluid now and take it apart. So I've given everything a really good scrub with Jay's fluid, and I've used the jet spray nozzle on my hose pipe. So it's really pretty clean. I'm going to give everything a spritz now with this. I forgot to say earlier, red mite don't live on humans, which is really good, so you don't need to worry about them feeding off you. It's just the chickens. But you do need to be really, really vigilant and keep it clean. Even if you think you have got rid of them, don't relax and not thoroughly clean out your hen house on a regular basis. I've been doing every 5 days, taking it apart like this and scrubbing and spritzing, because you just have to be really, really vigilant. Make sure that you have completely eradicated them. So I've given everything a really, really good scrub with Jay's fluid. I've jet sprayed it off, and then I've given it a spritz with a total mite kill. It's all now dried, and I've popped it back together. So I've just got some straw and hay in here from the floor of my hay barn. I'm just going to pop that in the nesting box there. I'm going to give it a bit of a sprinkle of this as well, and just mix that in. I've also got some lavender and tea tree. Now, if you've watched my video on how to get rid of head lice, I've made a spritz in a bottle, a little spray bottle, which lives in our downstairs bathroom. And from time to time, if there's an outbreak of nits and head lice at school, I spritz my children. So I'm just going to put a few drops. I know that red mite are proven to hate lavender oil. I'm also going to try them with some tea tree as well. So I'm just going to pop a couple of drops directly into the bedding here. Not too much, because it's very, very strong. This is concentrated. And so like that, and then that on. And then I'm going to pop, so I've got shavings here, which I put onto, I'll lift them up and show you. Onto these, and I'm going to actually give them a bit of powder too And again, my tea tree and lavender spritz, not spritz, direct drops, you know what I mean. Just quite windy up here today, which doesn't help. And I'm going to do exactly the same with the other tray. So I do hope that you found that useful. Thank you very, very much for watching, and do spread the word if you know anyone that's struggling with how to eradicate red mite. I hope that my tips can help them as well.